Okay guys, so in this video let's see that how do we validate the user input. So right now if we try to register this user, that is truly@gmail.com, and the password is 12 and confirm password is 123, so the passwords do not match. So if we click on register, we see that we are getting this message here, that is passwords do not match, and this is the completed application. So that's what we want to implement inside our application. So for that, what we are going to use, express-validator. So let's install this package inside our application. And basically you have two options here, that is either you can use this express-validator or you can use Joey. And if you have watched my Node.js API authentication series, so there I have used Joey as the validator. So you can go and watch that video if you want to use Joey. I'll put the link here at the top here in case you want to use Joey instead of express-validator. But in this series I'll be using express-validator because it has some sanitizers also. So let's do that. So firstly here what we need to do, we need to install that package, that is express-validator. So I'll do npm I to install the express-validator package. And now if we have a look at our package.json file, we see that we have this package ready here. So let me copy this package from here. So now we want to validate the user input inside the post route here. So let's do that. And before doing that, let me start my application by doing npm run dev, and I'll minimize this window here. So now here at the very top of this file, that is auth-route.js, let me require the express validator. So const somethings equal to require express validator like this. And now we need to extract two things here using destructuring, and that is the body and the validation result like this. And basically these two are coming from this package itself, that is the express validator. So now what we can do, we can write a middleware inside our post route here, that goes to /auth/register, and before handling the request and response, we can write a middleware here which will do all the validations. So let me put a comma here, and here we'll write our middleware, and this should be an array like this. And here what we can do, we can use this body thing here that comes with express validator, and basically this body will contain all the properties inside our request body. So we can write our validator like this. Since we have inside our request body, we have an email, we have a password, and we have a password too. And here we can say body email because it is a property inside our request.body. And firstly what we can do, we can trim it so that we remove all the white spaces from the start and from the end. And then this email should be an email. So we can write is email like this. And here we can pass in our custom message, that is with message. And here we can pass in our own message, that email must be a valid email in case the email is not valid. And then we can change each and everything. Like we want to also normalize this email. So we can say normalize email like this. And basically it is again a sanitization thing, that is we are normalizing the email, that is if it is in uppercase or if it is in lowercase, so we are converting it to lowercase. And then finally what we can do, we can simply convert it to lowercase. So lowercase to lowercase like this. And now the second field which is coming inside our request body is the password. So we can do it like this. We can say body, and here we need to validate the password. That is if you need your password to be of certain length. And here we firstly trim it, that is to remove empty spaces from the starting and from the ending of the this password thing here. And then we can provide in an optional length to this password. So for this tutorial purpose, I am simply providing a length of 2. So we can do it like this, that is length. And here we can provide in a value, that is what is the length of your password. So for demonstration purpose, let me provide in 2. And then we can provide in a message here using the with message chain here. And here we can say that password length short or something like this, or minimum 2 characters required. So min 2 char required, something like this. And now let's save this, and we'll be handling the password validation, that is password and confirm password should match, and we'll be doing that in a moment. So now firstly let's handle this thing here. So now we have extracted this thing also from our express validator, that is validation result. So let's handle that thing here. So inside our try block, that is inside this block, before doing anything, what we need to we need to check for errors. So we can say const errors, not error but errors, equal to validation result. And here we can simply pass our request like this. And now we check if the errors is empty. So if not errors is empty, that is if there are errors, so that is what we are checking. If we have written here errors is empty, then it means that the errors thing is empty. But now we are checking that if it is not empty, then what we want to do. Then for now, let me simply log the errors object here. So let me simply log it here. So console.log errors, just to show you that what it all contains. And here we can simply return. So now let's save this. Let's go to our application. Let's go to localhost. Let's go to our register route. So let me provide in an email here. That is not an email. Let me provide in a password that is of a single character and confirm password of 1 here. So now let me click on register here. So nothing would happen here, but if we go back and if we open the console here, we see that we are getting this thing here, and it is coming from the errors object here. That is the result of the validation. That is the validation result here, and it contains an array of errors here. So what we can do, we can use this array of errors and we can display it using the flash messages inside our browser. So let's do that. So what we need to do, we can simply do it like this. Let me remove these two lines from here, and here to get this array that contains the errors, what we can do, we can do it like this. That is errors dot array dot for each, that is we are looping through each of the errors, and here we have an error like this, and here we'll say request dot flash because we are storing it as a flash message, and here we'll say error, and here we can simply say error dot message msg like this, because this is the actual message that we want to display to the user, which is coming from the msg thing here. And here what we can do, we can simply render the register page again. So rest.render, and I'm not redirecting here, and that is for a reason, because why I'm not redirecting. So let me simply render here. That is, we want to render the register page itself. So rest.render register, and here for the errors, we can simply pass in messages, not messaged, but messages. And here we can simply say request.flash like this. And basically this messages would go to this thing here, that is inside the layouts. We have this flash messages here, which contains this messages object, which would display our flash messages. So now let me save this thing from here. And finally, we want to return from here. We do not want to proceed ahead. So let me save this file from here. And now let's go back. And now let's press enter here. Now let me provide in an invalid email, the password 1 and confirm 1, 2. And now let me click on register. And we see that we are redirected back, or we have rendered back the register page, and we see these two messages here. That is, email must be a valid email and password length is short, minimum 2 characters required. So let me provide in a valid email. So let me do it like this, and the confirm password something. And if we click on register, we see that we are only getting one message, that is password length short, minimum 2 character required. And if we provide an invalid email and the password length is okay. So if we click here, we see that email must be a valid email. So now we are getting the flash messages here. So now let's see that how do we check for the confirm password and passwords to match. So for that, we'll be using a custom validator here inside this thing here, that is inside this middleware. So here we'll say body, and here we have this field here, that is password 2. And here we'll be providing our custom validator. Let me minimize this thing. And here we'll say custom, because it is a custom validator, and it takes a function here like this. And in this function, we have 2 parameters here. Firstly, the value, that is the value of request.body.password2. So that is this value here. And then we have an object here, which contains the request thing here. And I'll show it to you that how I know that this contains a request. So now if we command click on this custom thing here, or control click if you are on Windows, then we see that we are taken to this thing here, that is this interface here, and we see that we are using the custom validator. And if we click on this custom validator here, we are taken to this thing here, that is this custom validator, and this takes in an input, which is the value the user entered in the field, and then we have some meta property here. And if we click on the meta property, so this is the type of meta property which we have, and it has three things, that is the request, the location and path, and we are only interested in this request thing, so we have only extracted this request thing here. So that's what we have here. And now here what we'll do, here we'll simply check if value is not equal to request.body.password, then we can simply throw an error here, that is throw new error, and here we can say password do not match like this. And then finally we need to return true from here. And why we return true from here? It is because it simply indicates the success of the synchronous custom validator. So that's why we return true from here. So now let me save this file from here. And now let's go to our application here, and now let's try to register an email. So truly, which is not an email, password 12, confirm 123. So we see that the email is not valid and the passwords do not match. So let me provide in a valid email. So truly@gmail.com, password 123, and this time we'll be seeing different message, that is password length is short and passwords do not match. And now let me provide in a valid email, and let me provide in a password 123 and confirm 1234, and this time we'll only be getting password do not match. And now let me provide in a valid email, valid password, that is both the passwords meet the minimum requirement, that is 123 and 123. And if we click on register here, we see that we have created this user object here inside our database with this email and this password, that is the hashed password. So now one thing remains, that is, let me show it to you, that let me provide in an email here, that is truly@gmail.com. It is a valid email, and or let me use another email, that is johndoe@gmail.com. Let me provide in a password here 12 and confirm 123. And now if I click on register, then watch what will happen to this email field here. Though this is a valid email here, so let me copy this email firstly. So now if we click on register, we see that passwords do not match, but our email is also gone from here, but the email was a valid email. So what we want to have here is that email should persist here. So how do we do that? It is pretty simple to do. Let's go back to our application, and here where we are rendering the errors, that is the register template, we can pass here one more property, and that is the email here. So for that, what we can do, we can simply say email, and email would be request.body.email like this. So now let's save this, but still this would not work because we need to go to the register route here, or the register template here, and here in this input field here, we need to provide in a value here. So what we can say value should be equal to something, and here we can write EJS out, and it doesn't work here right like this, so let me write it somewhere else. So EJS out, and now let me Control X and let me paste it in here. I am too lazy to write all these templates here, and here we can check if locals.email, if there are, we are using a ternary operator here, then we can simply provide in the email, otherwise we can provide in an empty string in single quotes. So now let's save this thing here, and now let's go back, and now everything should work fine. So let me paste the email, let me johndoe@gmail.com. Let me provide in a password that do not match, and we see that the email persisted as the passwords do not match. If we provide here 1, confirm 123, then also the password length is short, but our email persisted here. Okay, so now let's do one more thing, that is if the user is successfully registered, we need to redirect him back to the login page. So let's do that. So let's go back to our application here, and let's go to the auth route here. So once we have saved the user, we are simply sending back the user here. But instead we want to do something else. We want to redirect him back to the login page with a message that is you have been successfully registered. So what we can do, we can say rest.redirect, and we want to redirect him back to the auth/login page. And then we can ignore this thing from here, or let me remove it from here. And before doing so, we want to also provide in a flash message. So we can say request.flash, and here I am providing an info message that contains an information, or you can provide in a success message like this. And then here we can provide in the value. So we can say I'm using template string here, that is user.email registered successfully. You can now log in. So you can now log in like this. And now let me save this thing from here and let's go back to our application and let's try to register this johndoe@gmail.com with the password of 12 and confirm password of 12. And let me click on register here. And we see that we get this message here, that is johndoe@gmail.com has been registered successfully. You can now log in. So this is all about this video, that is validation, sanitizations and registering. And now in the next video, let's see that how do we actually do the login of this user that we have just created. So that's what we are going to do in the very next video.